Hello and welcome to another edition of the How I Failed in Business podcast, the podcast where we talk to business leaders, entrepreneurs, salespeople, CEOs to talk about their business and to learn what went wrong and most importantly to see what we can learn from those so that we don't make those same mistakes. I'm one of your hosts, Rob Spence.
And I'm Sophia Grace.
And this week we are joined by Samuel Harris of Community Men2Men Buddying. Samuel, good to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
No,
thanks to be here.
Thanks for coming in. We've been connected on LinkedIn for quite a while now, I think.
Yeah.
But look, you know, you've told us off camera everything about the business and what you're doing. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. But just for the viewer, for the listener, tell us all about the business. What do you do?
So we're Community Men2Men Buddying, as you say. We refer to ourselves as CM2M for short, 2 being the number 2. We provide buddies for support and friendship for men, typically over 55 men, for either support in their home or getting them out and about in the community, doing the things that maybe they used to do when they were younger, but have kind of lost sight of now. And it's to prevent things like loneliness and isolation, but also to push back on worse things such as dementia and mental health illnesses. So we've currently got 4 buddies that are out and about supporting a wide range of men with various issues. Some just not issues at all, just want some company.
Wonderful. And what was sort of the reasoning behind that sort of getting started?
So it wasn't founded by me, it was founded by my business partner, Chris. He found himself caring for his dad when his dad wasn't very well towards the end of his life. And what he found was that the people that were coming to the house to see him were the carers, the nurses, the social workers were all female. So he was really lacking that male company, that male friendship and banter that sort of only lads can do. So he founded the business back in 2018 and we've been steadily growing from then.
Fantastic. And you mentioned upstairs your role within the business. I think you said it was the fluffier side, the
pretty
side,
stuff.
the pretty stuff. So
the pretty and exciting stuff. So just this week, Chris does all the admin. He does all the nitty gritty stuff. He's admin and finance and all that kind of stuff. He's just been writing our safeguarding rewriting our safeguarding policies this week. And I said to him last night, I said, thank you for all the hard work that you do doing all this. It's something that I could never do. And he said, that's okay. I do this so you can do the pretty stuff, the exciting stuff. So, so I do the marketing side of things, meeting people, doing stuff like this just to promote the business and get us out there and get us on people's minds so they can recommend us to people when they're out and about.
Absolutely. And I want to talk about your past in a second, but it must be quite nice doing quite a rewarding job, would you say? It's quite a rewarding thing, you know. It's you're not just selling arcade machines for the selling arcade machines. You're selling hope, freedom. You're selling satisfaction, aren't you?
Yeah, it is, and it is a real rewarding thing. When I joined in with Chris, it came at a time in my life when I was looking to give back, to do something else. So I first joined thinking it was a voluntary role. Mm-hmm. So I said, I met him at a walking cricket session that he'd arranged. So I said, I'd really like to volunteer for your organisation to be a buddy. And he just informed me that it wasn't a voluntary role. We do actually pay our buddies. So that's how I got on board when I was in that sort of zone where I wanted to sort of do something more and give back. I should also mention that we're a CIC, mm-hmm. So 50% of our profit goes back into the community. So it's that kind of ethos that I enjoy about what we do.
Wow.
I like that. It touches home for me personally. So my father is going through the early stages of dementia currently, and everything you've spoke about, that loneliness, that isolation, it becomes a very slippery slope, a slippery spiral. You know, he pretty much sits in his living room. He can't even have a TV because he finds the focus of the TV too hard to focus on, you know, and it frustrates him. So he literally just sits in a room. And my former boss as well, fortunately or unfortunately, he's in a home because his dementia is so severe, but he's only sort of in his 50s, I think, you know, so it does kind of impact us all, doesn't it? You know, so it sounds like you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
A great job. In your early career, you told us upstairs you had a business from a you read a book.
Very young age.
Yeah, a very specific book as well.
Well, yes, it wasn't reading the book that set me on the course, but I knew that I wanted to leave school. I just never really enjoyed school. I wasn't academic. I found that it just didn't stimulate me, so I wanted to leave school as soon as I could. So back when I was 16, you could leave school in the Easter and then go back and do your GCSEs as long as you had something to go to. So I set up my own cleaning business. I lived in Evington at the time. Around the North Evington area were lots of sweatshops and knitwear factories. So I went round them all, cleaning the toilets basically, and set up my own business from there.
Fantastic. So what kind of age was that again, sorry?
16.
16,
yeah.
Wow. So a bit of a journey throughout?
A real journey, a real learning curve, because going from obviously school where all I'd had was a paper round to then earning my own money and, sort of learning all about, I remember my dad taking me to the village bank when we had a village bank to go and set up my first business bank account.
Sounds like there's going to be people listening to this going, what on earth is a village bank?
What on earth is
what is a physical bank?
What is a local branch? What the hell is that? So I went to the local branch to set up my business account, got a tax man to sort out my taxes and all that kind of stuff, an accountant. So it was a real quick, real steep learning curve. But I learnt a lot about myself. I was literally knocking doors to get business, so I learnt a lot about communication and talking to people. One thing we haven't talked about upstairs was that I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. So I was used to going around knocking on doors and talking to people, but it's still a different beast when you're not selling living forever on a paradise earth. You're selling, I want to come and clean your toilets.
Yeah.
So I was used to talking to people, but not on that level, and not business people at that level. So I learned a lot in those early days, yeah.
And was it sort of, when you first started out with it, was it something where you were like, I really just want to get out of school? Or was it something where you were like, no, I really want to turn this into a business?
I guess I didn't really know what a business was.
Yeah.
I just knew that I could earn money. It was almost like paper round on steroids, because it was like you turn up to somebody's place, you clean the toilets, and at the end of the week they'll give you money for it. So it wasn't really a business; it was just a way to earn money and a way to sort of be able to buy myself CDs and clothes and stuff like that. Which, when you're 16, 17, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
I guess we spoke upstairs about how I dipped in and out of doing the cleaning business and doing that, and I guess that was because I never really got to terms with running it as an actual business.
Okay.
If I was going to go back into it doing what I know now, I'd have working capital involved and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't know anything about that then.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a means to an end, and I found myself for a long time just living hand to mouth, which was why the various secondments came up, because every now and again you'd think, well, actually, if I want to get a mortgage or I want to do this and that and the other, I need to get a proper job, a proper job. So that's what took me into that for me is, when I look back, that's kind of how I think I failed, because I was constantly having to do something else to support myself and support the cleaning work that I wanted. I wanted to work for myself. I enjoyed the independence of it, but I didn't really understand the business of it.
Yeah.
I think.
How long was it that you, from sort of 16 to when you sort of were not gave it up, but went into a sort of traditional sort of career path?
Probably a couple of years.
Couple of years?
Yeah, probably 18, 19.
And these sort of gaps where you saying all right, I'm going to do it the old school way, and I'm going to maybe just go back to the 9 to 5? How long did they sort of last periodically?
Not very long.
Not very long.
Because I don't work well in those kind of environments. I can turn up on time and I can leave. I can do the work and leave on time, but it's just, I'm not the kind of person that can be chained to a desk. I'm not the kind of person that can be given instructions or takes instructions very well. I need to have my own freedom. I would be better off working in a hybrid working environment as we now know it. Yeah. But of course, back then we didn't have those kind of environments. So, it was your typical 9 to 5. What you would class as a proper 9 to 5 job, and it really didn't suit me.
No. And you mentioned quite a few of the roles upstairs that you'd had, and I'm happy for you to share them. Did they? Because each one you mentioned to me was like a different kind of job, a different kind of task, a different kind of industry. Did those kind of aid to your learning as a business owner? Like, did you kind of come away going, I can implement this, or this can help me do that, or were they just
you're going to expect me to say yes? I learned X, Y, and Z, but no. I learned nothing. Do you know what? I look back at my younger self, and I think I just wasn't very self-aware. I wasn't self-aware enough to sort of take lessons on board and learn lessons from stuff. I was just doing stuff, and not sort of taking any takeaway from it. And like you say, I was a bouncer. I was an insurance broker. I worked in insurance for a company, Prudential in Nottingham. I worked in an estate agent. I worked in a building society. I was a garment presser up the road. And yeah, I guess I didn't really... all I learnt was that's not what I wanted to do with my life. Yeah. That's basically all I learnt.
Yeah.
But it took me a long while to get to a point where I actually found what I wanted to do with my life. And I guess that gets determined by what does... I don't think back then, when I was younger, I don't think I knew what success was to me. Mm-hmm. I knew what success was to other people. And I knew what other people were doing to get that success. But success to me was very different to what society said success had to be. And so I guess finding that, you've got to fail enough to find what works for you, haven't you?
Absolutely. If you don't mind me asking, what does success look like to you now?
Success to me now looks like how many times I can get out on the golf course in a week.
Now we're talking.
Because I've never... So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying that they used to pray that their car started in the morning, and now he's in such a position in his business where he doesn't have to worry about stuff like that. Yeah. He knows he's going to get into his car and it's going to start. And I said to him, do you look at that and think that's success? And he said, no, when I look into my son's eyes and see him call me daddy, that's success to me. Well, that kind of success was never success to me. I haven't got kids. I've never wanted to have kids, so that's not my success. But that is society's idea of success, or at least it was when I was younger. It was get a job, get a mortgage, get kids, get married, get kids, and live, or live your life. Yeah. But for me, that was never on my radar. It was never what I wanted to do. Yeah. So for me, and don't get me wrong, when I say I play golf 2 or 3 times a week, that's not because I'm earning thousands of pounds and can afford time off work. That's because I cut my cloth accordingly, and I don't have a mortgage and I don't have dependents. Yeah. So I can do that. I've made that choice. Those things are more important to me than the other things. Yeah. But I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's not everybody's, but it's mine. And once you come to terms with that and you own it, then that's success, I think.
I love that.
I think for a lot of people, success is just the freedom to be able to do what makes you happy.
Exactly.
And the acceptance that what makes one person happy and another person happy aren't necessarily going to reconcile, and that doesn't mean that any person is more or less fulfilled at all.
100%, yeah.
Exactly. I'm about ready for our first
Should we
game
play our
of the
first
session.
game?
Is Molly ready for our first game of the session? Perfect. So, first things first, we're going to play a game of fail or fiction.
Right.
So, this game is quite simple. Okay, this is effectively, as Sophia nicely put it to me once, 2 truths and a lie. Okay,
Right.
so I'm going to read out 3 statements.
Okay.
2 of them are true, one
Yeah.
of them is false.
Right.
Okay, now these statements can be anything about businesses that have gone bust, that could have gone bankrupt, could be products that were launched and vanished, they could be softwares that we used to use, don't use anymore.
Right.
It could be anything. Okay, and you've got to
Okay.
guess which one's fake.
Okay.
Do you understand the rules?
I think so.
Perfect. So, and just remember, if you lose, you've got to give Sophia 100 quid. So,
1,000.
Wait a minute.
So, we'll start off with Microsoft's Zune. So in 2006, Microsoft released the Zune, which was a portable media player intended to compete with Apple's iPod. Despite initial optimism, the Zune struggled with software issues, lack of market differentiation, and poor sales. Microsoft eventually discontinued the Zune in 2011. So that's story 1. Then we have Snapchat's Spectacles. In 2016, Snapchat released Spectacles, which were sunglasses with a built-in camera for recording short videos. Despite initial hype, sales were disappointing, and Snap Inc. wrote off $40 million in unsold inventory. And finally, these come up quite a lot. We have Coca-Cola with their Green Coke. In 2017, Coca-Cola allegedly launched a version of their famous soda called Green Coke, sweetened with a mix of kale and spinach extracts. Marketed as a health-conscious alternative, the beverage was pulled after customers found the taste unappealing. So, Samuel, you got a choice. We've got Microsoft Zune, we've got Snapchat Spectacles, or Coca-Cola's Green Coke. Are there any that you're thinking straight away, that's made up?
Well, as you're going through, no, it was quite the opposite. As you're going through them, I'm thinking, yeah, I remember Zune. Yeah, I do remember Zune. And yes, I remember Snapchat Spectacles. Yeah, I remember that. And then I'm thinking, yeah, I remember the Green Coke. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I'm really struggling. So Zune I haven't heard of at all, but it sounds perhaps the least far-fetched of them all for there to be a competitor product to the iPod. I get that. Snapchat Spectacles, 2016, did you say?
So, 2016, yes, you are right.
So if I say, so that was 8 years ago for me, what I'm thinking is that was like my peak Snapchat days, you know? But I can't remember that. The Green Coke.
It's 2017.
I do remember that a Green Coke, that they did make like a health, like there was like a Coca-Cola Live or something. But was that it, or was that something else?
So,
I'm gonna put myself out there and go Green Coke.
As being the false story.
Is the false story.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that your final answer, Samuel?
That's my final answer. I'm gonna lock that in.
Okay, we're locked in with
Yeah.
Samuel.
I think that you might be right, but just to be contrarian, I will say the Snapchat glasses.
Snapchat Spectacles. You think that's the false?
I think it might be the Coke, but I'm gonna differ and say, because I do think that the top one.
Just
is
to
true.
make a game.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, look, one of you is correct. The other one is wrong. So I can reveal the Microsoft Zune was a thing. So there was a Microsoft Zune. I think I had one. Was it purple?
There was a load of them on the market because everybody saw the success of the iPad.
Yeah.
And I had a Creative Zen.
Oh yes. Yeah, I remember them.
And it weighed an absolute ton. It was about the size
Not
of
lightweight at all.
half a brick, and it weighed an absolute ton.
There
not
we go.
portable at all.
So the Zune got discontinued in 2011 due to just significant challenges, and it just couldn't compete with the iPod. So that leaves us with Snapchat Spectacles and Green Coke. So Samuel, you said Green Coke was a fake story, or the false story, and you said, Sophia, that Snapchat Spectacles was the true story. No, the false story.
The false story.
So I can reveal that Snapchat Spectacles did exist.
Yeah.
Which is that? Did you hear about? Do you really? So Molly's nodding. So we'll come on to the Green Coke in a minute. But yeah, so I don't remember. I've not seen or heard obviously we were talking about the Google Glass
Yeah.
last week or the week. Oh, I can't remember now, but
It's been a similar sort of time as
yeah,
well.
we were talking about the Google. Do you remember the Google Glass that was
Yeah,
similar and
yeah.
stuff?
It's supposed to be revolutionary and just wasn't.
But imagine just writing off $40 million in unsold inventory. Like, I can't even write off a tub of paint. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is a lot of money. So 2016, and then just vanished into the abyss. And then, Coca-Cola's Green Coke. So they have experimented with various formulas, but never with kale and spinach flavoured
No,
sodas.
that was the thing that sealed it
That's
for me.
what
I
got
thought
it
kale
for
and
me.
spinach.
Because I do remember they did. I think it was called Coca-Cola Live. I don't know if Molly maybe can check.
Wasn't that the one that was like the Tab Clear? Wasn't that like the clear Coke?
Oh, was it?
Oh.
They did make a health one though, and I think it
Health
was
Coke.
just ended up being. That's not what people are buying Coke for, and if they are, they're
Yeah.
just buying Diet Coke.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Is it not?
No, well, the Coca-Cola.
Maybe I'm getting the wrong name.
No. Ah.
Is it was
So
green?
it's green. What was in
Yeah.
Coca-Cola Live then, Molly? Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
so not even diet.
no.
With the Coca-Cola Live, you just remind me, Pepsi used to have a campaign called Pepsi Comes Alive. That was their strapline, was Pepsi
Okay.
Comes Alive. And when they translated it into Mandarin Chinese, it said Pepsi brings your ancestors back from the grave. Which wasn't the best thing.
Probably didn't go
You know,
down that
That's
well.
Can go down
that's
that
quite
Yeah.
a. It's quite.
But
a
that
strapline.
might be a lie as well.
Yeah, who knows?
Who
We'll
knows?
We'll find out in a future
Find out.
episode. Make sure you listen in. But look, love playing that. We've still got another game later on today. We're going to play
Cool.
Mystery Mishaps later on. We're going to take a little short break from our sponsors. Stick around, and we've got some more questions to ask you, Samuel. So bear with us, and we'll see you in a second.
Hey, Spence.
Hey, Sophia.
Don't you think someone would be silly to not go with the paragon of sales for their sales and marketing?
Oh, you'd be foolish.
You
You'd
would be
absolutely foolish.
so silly. Luckily, I happen to know a company,
No.
and they are, by design, a paragon of sales and marketing.
Really? Tell me
Yes.
more.
They handle it all. We're talking fully outsourced sales.
Fully outsourced sales.
That's telesales
No.
with lead generation, appointment setting, high conversion We're talking marketing. Now, this isn't just any marketing. This is digital marketing. Sounds like an
Why you remember
M&S
that
advert.
We need some Fleetwood Mac playing in the background.
We've got web design.
We do that.
We'll get copyright strike.
Oh, okay.
Web design, SEO, social media management, and mail outs.
That's right, we can't forget the mail outs.
We can't forget the mail outs.
So for these foolish people that are using a substandard marketing agency, what should they do next?
They should send us an inquiry about how we can help them
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
to our email at hello@paragonsalessolutions.co.uk. You should go to our website www.paragonsalessolutions.co.uk, or they should hit us up on our socials at Paragon Sales Solutions.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I think that was my favourite.
Okay, hi guys, and welcome back to How I Failed in Business. Thanks for listening to that short little break. We are joined here with Samuel still. Perfect. And we're going to intro back in with what you've been, I think, maybe aptly naming the ultimate question.
The ultimate question.
The ultimate question of this podcast, and what we're trying to perhaps collate the answer to of like how people fail in business. We're just going to have a massive database of answers. But this will not be one that we have received at all so far.
There we go.
So Samuel, how do you believe that you've perhaps failed in business?
So the keen, eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed that my hand is shaking, my right hand and my right leg. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, young onset Parkinson's disease, because I'm still young. so young onset Parkinson's disease back in 2019. And so I would say that's my biggest failure, but I don't want to offend other people with Parkinson's out there by saying you're a failure. What I mean is we always look at failures, and you on this podcast look at failures as learning experiences. Absolutely. I used to work with a guy called Joe Green when we used to do the window cleaning, and if ever we failed, if ever we had we lost money on a project, he'd always say school fees, because you've actually paid for a learning experience.
Nice.
And so I look at the Parkinson's that I got diagnosed with has been such a huge learning experience for me, in as much as, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's secured. We could all, not to put too much of a downer on it, but we could all succumb to something, tomorrow, next week, next month, years from now. And it's so, what do we do with those setbacks? What do we do with those things? And how do we readdress what the future looks like? And a lot of people say when something like that happens, well, I'm going to live every day like it's my last. Well, you can't do that. You can't physically do that. It would be absolutely exhausting. But what you can do is make the most of every day. So when I said earlier about joining CM2M and I was looking to give back, that was in 2019 when I'd had this diagnosis, and I thought, well, I want to do something different. I want to give back. I'd had a change in employment circumstances, partly because of the diagnosis. And so I had a bit more free time and wanted to give back. So, yeah, for me, that's my biggest failure and my biggest success, because now the playing golf, has come from that. The playing golf more regularly has come from that. And in fact, I'm a better golfer now. I'm a better putter now with the Parkinson's than I was before. And I think because it concentrates my mind. I'm shaking like this much at the moment because I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm happy to be here, and so emotion causes me to shake more. But when I'm on the golf course and I'm more relaxed, the shake isn't as pronounced. So I can sort of hone my senses and focus on what I'm doing, and my putting's come on leaps and bounds since, which you wouldn't imagine.
I was going to say, you'll have to teach me some lessons, because I'm still horrendous at golf, and I don't.
Oh, I'm still horrendous.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I play off 46, so I'm not good. I'm not good at all.
No,
but I enjoy it, and that's, for me, that's the main thing, is being out there and enjoying playing golf and being out there in nature, being out there with friends, and just enjoying the whole experience of doing that.
Absolutely. Without coming away from what you've just said there, in terms of golf and business, have you found much business in golf? It's where business is done, isn't it? On the golf course?
Well, I've recently, a few months ago, I joined For Business, which is a business networking golf combo.
I've heard very good things. Yeah.
And it's very good. You should come along.
I'll come for a 4-ball. You get a free 4-ball every month, don't you?
You get a free 4-ball every month, and you do the networking once a month as well.
There you go.
And that stood out for me. And Chris doesn't like spending any money, but I said to him, we've got to do this because it's better than any networking I've done before, because you've got a captive audience for 4 hours on the golf course. And not that you're chewing their ear off every single hole, but you've got them to talk to and just get a flavour of. And the first time I did it, I played golf with a guy, and he said to me, you find people's true characters on a golf course. So you can really get to know them and find out if you really want to work with these people. So it's something I really enjoy.
Yeah, I played golf when I was much younger, and then just gave up because I was supposed to have a thing called a life, so I couldn't focus too much time on the golf course, and then picked up again last year, and I've just been a bit hit and miss with it. And I heard a story similar to like what you said there. They said if you're playing golf with someone and you notice that they're not counting their scores correctly, or just playing some dodgy shots,
or getting angry, people who lose their rag, you think, well, do I really want to do any business with this? This person, this character.
Exactly. Like you say, it shows who they truly are in quite a nice Have you ever played golf?
So this is so weird because I was just talking about I'm not a sports person at all. I suffered a knee injury, thank God, when I was quite young, and that meant that I was able. That meant that I was able to discount myself from sports. So thank God. But the only one where I'm like, I think I would quite enjoy that is golf.
Yeah.
Because I like to be in general outdoors.
Yeah.
They're always sort of set in these lovely grounds.
Yeah.
And I just think I could get to grips with golf, you know? It's not even like with tennis where you're having to sort of run around. And what I really like is sports where you play yourself. I know that you are technically playing with other people, but you're really trying to be better than you were last time you played.
Exactly.
And I love that. So I think I would actually get on quite well with golf. I think I would enjoy it.
It's a date. We need
What we'll do is we'll go around, we'll do like a recording of the podcast on the golf course. We'll get some wired up mics and we'll go around and give it a go.
Because that's never been done before.
No.
So
there we go.
It'll be the first, but it is lovely. I mean, where's the best course you've played on recently? Is there
well, I enjoy playing at the Leicestershire.
Yeah.
The best golf I played was in Mauritius.
Oh, nice.
You know, playing golf in beautiful weather with the Indian Ocean right next to you. That's pretty good. That takes some beating. Yeah. And I scored a brilliant chip in from a bunker. It must have been about 200 yards.
Wow.
So
fair play.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't an up and down chip in. It was a skid along the ground,
just bobbling along,
and I just couldn't believe it when it went in the hole. But there you go.
But it happens. Yeah, I've heard good things about the Leicestershire. My old head teacher, I think, is the captain of the Leicestershire. I've forgotten his name. Peter Fowler, and his wife are the first partnered captain. So I don't know. I read something on the website, but there's my little short claim to fame. We'll get that sorted at some stage. So. Another question. In the first half, you were talking about all these kind of array of jobs that comments you've had throughout the time.
Yeah.
Now, we'll open this up to yourself as well, Sophia, just because I'm just nosy. Is there any sort of job in the world, apart, not like the outrageous jobs, you know, the fighter pilot, the astronauts of the world, is there any jobs you've thought, I'd love to do that for a week or two just to try it out, just to see what it's about?
I'd love to be a DJ.
Oh, okay.
I would love to be a rock. I mean, I got a chance to be a rock DJ for a brief period when I first got diagnosed with Parkinson's. There's a radio station called Radio Parkies, and they let me go on air and do my own show, but that came to an end sadly. But yeah, I'd love to be a radio DJ. I think that would be just like that would be my ultimate job.
Perhaps share a dream there with Rob for being on the. He's got his heart set on radio too.
Well, so on our soundboard over there, so we bought this second hand,
right?
So we're not made of money, and there's Radio 2 sounds like on the board. So like the jingles, the cutaways, the Radio 2. So I play them really loud and I get really excited. Like I'm going to be on the radio at some stage. But you mentioned a rock DJ.
Rock DJ, yeah.
Okay. Is that your genre? Is it?
I like a lot of music. I like most music, but. Yeah, rock, bringing rock to the masses.
Yeah. Who's the favourite band?
Well, it sort of flips between Metallica and Pink Floyd.
Nice.
Okay.
But, and I'm getting quite into Genesis recently.
Oh.
Like the old stuff, the classic Genesis, not the pop.
Yeah,
pop
Peter
stuff.
Gabriel age kind of Genesis. Nice. Phil, what would you like if you had like a work experience for a week? I can't leave you for too long.
This was really, really a goal of mine, and perhaps maybe my largest regret. I really wanted to go into the backstage of theatre production, so like makeup or costume. So I would love to go and do that, like sort of proper West End style makeup prep and costume.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good. Yeah. So I'm still in two minds about mine. I'd still love one time to work in McDonald's. Genuinely.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Because I want to witness that. I love, have you ever seen The Founder?
Yes.
So, where they're looking at these processes. Like, even now when we go to the drive-through, I'm always looking in because I just want to see how things are done and how it's all processed. But I think apart from obviously being a fighter pilot and all that, I'd love to work in a carnival for a week. I told this to you, didn't I? I went to the Blaby Carnival the other week now.
I don't think it was the Blaby. I think it was just in Blaby.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was the Blaby Carnival.
Circus Cortex, wasn't it, I think? They were in Blaby. And oh my God, these guys were so hard working. They were selling the popcorn, they were selling the candy floss, they were sweeping up, they were performing, they were doing all this. They were then at half time or the interval selling stuff again. They were, honestly.
Well, the same people were doing
Yeah.
lots of different
So it was
jobs.
only a small team of, 10 or 12 people.
Oh, really?
So you'd see this guy on a high wire, like jumping around and doing X, Y, Z. And then at the interval, do you want some popcorn?
So so apart from being able to sell popcorn and all that kind of stuff, what would be your main skill set?
I'd be the ringleader.
Circus.
Roll
up.
I'd be P.T. Barnum. Okay,
Yeah.
I'd be, the Greatest Showman. I would have. So I think my act would be a singing act, one man Les Mis. I think
You can hear it every morning, 8:30.
Yeah, if you ever want to hear it, just pop along. You'll hear it come through the unsoundproofed walls that we were talking about. But on that embarrassing note, shall we play our next game,
Yes.
Samuel? So we're going to introduce to you Mystery Mishaps. Now, this game is slightly easier than the last, and I didn't even write down what the answer is, but luckily I remember what it was. So I've got 5 clues. Okay, so it could be a business that's gone wrong. It could be, it could go gone bust. It could be a software. It could be a product. It could be a business that nearly went bust and then came back. It could be a disastrous marketing campaign. It could be anything. Okay, so I need to give you a bit of an overall. So the clue is this retailer. So they're a retailer. They are still going, but made a big mishap. Okay. So, clue number 1, the company was, so you've got to guess the retailer, is what I should have said, sorry. So this company was founded in 1969 and quickly became a favourite among young shoppers for its stylish and affordable fashion.
All right.
Okay, you got something?
In what year?
1969.
So not Primark.
Not Primark, no. So clue number 2.
So it's a retailer that is still going, but they had...
Bit of a boo-boo.
Okay.
In an attempt to promote diversity and inclusion, the company launched a new advertising campaign in 2018 aimed at celebrating all body types and backgrounds.
Right.
Okay. Still quite open. It could be anyone, couldn't it? Unfortunately, so clue number 3, one of the products, a children's t-shirt, featured a slogan that was deemed highly offensive and inappropriate, sparking outrage among customers and advocacy groups. Have you got
Molly's got it.
Okay, Molly thinks she's got it. You kind of, your face
I
is
remember that
It's
happened.
kind of ringing a bell with me that something,
I remember
something
the
like
baby
that
cry.
happened, but I can't remember who.
Okay. Do you want me to read the next clue?
Go on.
The company issued a public apology and immediately pulled the product from their stores and website, promising to review their approval process for future campaigns.
Yeah, that's just an extension of the last clue. That's
Isn't
not
it?
really- that's not really taking us somewhere else.
No, that's what I want to tell you. And in true How I Failed in Business fashion, the Amazon delivery driver has just pulled up with all my Moroccan bathroom goods for our new studio. So hopefully we'll try and get the next clue in before he or she pulls out. So, final clue. Despite the controversy, the company managed to bounce back by reinforcing their commitment to inclusivity and ensuring more stringent checks on their product designs and marketing materials.
Gosh, I'm so frustrated because I remember this happening.
Okay.
And but I can't for the life of me remember the brand.
Samuel, any ideas?
It wasn't a local brand, was it?
Well, I want to say worldwide, but definitely nationwide.
Okay.
I think
But
worldwide.
I mean a locally based. It wasn't Next. Was
No,
it?
not locally
No,
based. No. Molly, are you still locked in on your answer? Okay. So I'll let you both have a guess. Just shout any retailer.
Okay. Well, we had the same idea because I was thinking, is it
Yeah,
Next?
that's what I was thinking. Next.
But since you're saying no to Next, I will guess. They weren't even still a retailer. I'll guess Topshop just to guess something.
Topshop. Okay. Samuel.
I can't even think of it. I'm going to say M&S. They've been out a lot longer.
M&S. Okay. The answer.
Are you going to let Molly guess?
Oh, sorry. Molly, are you going to have a little guess? Guess who? H&M is what she's saying. Okay. And I can confirm that Molly is correct.
Yes.
Wow.
It was H&M. It was indeed. I have just Googled, so I didn't even know what. Here is the delivery boy, the man. Delivery man. Let me let him in. Oh.
This is.
Sorry, 1 second.
I always wanted this to happen.
It's just the way of the world. Can someone run?
Don't worry. It always happens when it's become part of the show now. Cheers, Rob. Thanks so much. Is that all of it? Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thanks so much. Molly, do you want to just grab these? I was really apologetic. I'm so sorry.
This is what I love about you, Rob, is you're just so professional. to a fault.
You watch from behind the scenes going, look how good this looks. You get here. So, yeah, H&M. I have just, because I'll be honest, I got these questions sorted and I put them on the side and I didn't even look to see what had happened, what had gone wrong. I've just Googled it now to see if we could maybe discuss it. And I don't think we probably should discuss it. We probably can discuss it off air, potentially.
I've just remembered what it is. Yes,
Yeah.
you definitely can't discuss that.
So we won't discuss it. But it goes to show that, you know, everyone does something wrong.
Everyone.
You know, and H&M, a massive company like theirs with big buyers and big people, just let things through and...
Yes,
and
indeed.
And you must go through several processes to
of people that
to
get paid
front of
an
house.
enormous amount of money to make sure that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
And then a crisis management team that get paid even more when it does.
Yeah, their PR team must have been like raking it in that week. But no, thanks for playing
Mystery mishaps.
Playing and failing.
Mystery
Yeah.
mishaps.
Well,
We do have another game. Like I say, unfortunately, we can't reveal it to the world yet. But soon a new game will come into play, which we'd love to get you back to play at some stage.
I love that.
But,
We could maybe play it on the golf course.
absolutely.
There we go. We're still up for the live recording of the podcast on the golf course. I think that'd be great fun. But look, Samuel, it's been great chatting to you. Obviously, there's going to be people watching this. Obviously, we've not really spoken a lot and probably not enough about Community Men2Men Buddying. And may want to get in touch with you to learn more. Maybe they've got a relative that needs support. Maybe they want to support and being a buddy. What's the next steps for the business? What are you looking for? What's the journey?
We're looking for both, really. We're always looking for new buddies, just to mix it up a bit and just to cover for holidays and things like that. So more buddies are always a good thing, and clients as well. And our main clients normally come from the wives or the daughters or the relatives of said individual. We as men don't feel like we need support, you know, and that can even come when we're in dire straits ourselves. So it normally comes from somebody else who knows them very well. So they can find us on our website, which is cm2m.co.uk, or all of us. We're on most socials: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, CM2M. So.
And absolutely, we'll make sure
we'll put all those links down below.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Because there's a big audience out there that needs that support. You know, like I say, it's resonated deep with me because my father, and who once again won't ask for any help. I remember once, you know, going to him once, and he was a bit ill and shaken up, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And basically, he had fallen into a river at the bottom of his garden the night before, just trying to retrieve a flag, and he said like he literally nearly died, but he just won't call out for that help. I can laugh about it now because he's still alive, and he laughs about it. But yeah, it could have just gone the horrendous other way, really. So we'll make sure we share your link. There's going to be a lot of people.
And at the moment, we're offering a free 2-hour taster session. So for those people that are reluctant to engage our services, they can have a taster session, see what it's like, and then if they want to carry on with doing that, they can. And I don't think they'll not want to after they've enjoyed our service. So
absolutely
amazing.
We'll definitely put your links below.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's been a great episode. Again, thank you, Samuel. So this has been How I Failed in Business. We will be back, of course, this Friday for our overview episode, and then again next Tuesday with another interview episode. And you can find those wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can find us on socials at pretty much everywhere. We are How I Failed in Business. And if you would also like to come on and be a guest on the podcast, you can DM us or you can send us an email to howifailedinbusiness@gmail.com. But until the next time, I've been Sophia Grace.
And I've been Rob Spence.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.